Getting along tape. Mikael loves baseball. I love lunchtime. Morning's okay. Afternoons are fun, but I love lunchtime. My mom asked me, Mikael, what's your favorite part of the school day? I say, lunchtime, Mom. I love lunchtime. See, it's not that I care so much about the food, but during lunchtime I get to play, and I love to play. Now that the weather's nice, we get to go outside and play baseball. I love baseball. I love baseball because I just learned how to do something that none of the other monkeys can do. I use two baseball gloves to catch the ball, one on my left hand and one on my right. No balls ever get by me, ever, because I use two gloves. And today at lunchtime, I'm going to show everyone how good I really am. Finally, it's lunchtime, and I'm the first one through eating. Now I can be the first one out on the baseball field. I love being the first one outside. I'll get to be shortstop and catch everything. Here I go! That's when I heard Mariah's voice behind me say, Hey, Mikael, you're not finished until you've cleaned up your mess for the next monkey. Hi, I'm Mariah, and boy, did Mikael make me mad during lunch. He was being so selfish. He left his milk carton, his half-eaten peanut butter sandwich, his mound of Jell-O, and his paper napkins all piled up. That's when I said, Hey, Mikael, look at the mess you left on the table. You have to clean it up. That's not fair. You're not finished until you've made it clean for the very next monkey. Mikael stood in the doorway with his two baseball gloves, one waving back and forth on his tail. He looked out at the playground and said, No way, Mariah. I've got to be the first one outside so I can play shortstop. I love playing shortstop, and I hate cleaning up. By now, several other monkeys were watching. They all said, Hey, Mikael, you need to clean up this table. It's your job. A lot of other monkeys have to eat here today. Mikael hesitated, then he stomped back to the table. Oh, all right, he huffed. I'll clean up this mess and miss my chance to play shortstop, but I hate cleaning up. By now, about 40 monkeys were watching Mikael. He stretched out his tail with a baseball glove on it and swept it right across the table. He knocked everything onto the floor. Leaving long smears of milk, peanut butter, Jell-O across the entire table. There, he smiled and turned toward the floor, flicking a glob of Jell-O off of his glove and onto a nearby chair. Now I can play baseball, and I love... Hey, Mikael, we all interrupted. You didn't clean it up. You just spread it out. Yuck, now it's even worse. Now there must have been more than 100 monkeys watching. We all chanted, Clean it up, clean it up, clean it up. Mikael turned fire truck red with embarrassment and slunk back to the table. By the time he had really cleaned it up, lunch period was over, and so was the baseball game. The next day at lunch, Mikael rushed up to show me his new invention. He had hooked a roll of paper towels to his tail and had tied a dustpan to the tip. A whisk broom was dangling from an elastic band around his right wrist. Mikael told me that with his fantastic new invention, he could clean up as he ate. That way he could leave the table ready for someone else and still be the first one out to play for baseball. And Mikael loves baseball. Ready for a song? Yeah. Let's see what we can do with this one. I want to tell you a story about the other day. The teacher said it's recess, now go out and play. But when we looked for all the balls and toys, they were not there. There were no toys to play with anywhere. Now who do you think would do a thing like that? Who do you think would do a thing like that? Now later on I went to paint, and you can probably guess the papers and the paints were all an awful mess. I took one look at all that, and all I could think was, yuck, somebody made a big colossal mess. Who do you think would do a thing like that? Who do you think would do a thing like that? Well, all day long I found disaster everywhere. I looked at puzzles all a-jumbled, pages torn from the books. Someone had forgotten these things belong to every one of us, and nobody has the right to mess it up. Now, who do you think would do a thing like that? Who do you think would do a thing like that? So I called the kids together and I said, look here, our stuff's a wreck and something must be done. If we take care of things, they will take care of us, and everything we do will be more fun. Now we've made a lot of changes and it's not the same. We're making better care of all our toys and games. Now we're the neatest, most careful class of kids around. Nobody's messing up or tearing down. Now who do you think you do a thing like that? You guessed it. Who do you think would do a thing like that? Us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, like the other stories, I'm going to write a story that you need to finish. So make sure that when you write the ending to this story, you put it in your notebook with your name and the date. And this time we're going to be sending them to Google, all right, on Gmail. Thank you so much. Here's your story. Listen carefully. I love to put puzzles together. The other day when the bell rang for recess, I went over to the cupboard and I picked out a jigsaw puzzle. I found one of my favorite ones and started to put the pieces together. But after a while, I saw that some of the pieces in the box belonged to a different puzzle. That made me so angry, I began to shout. My teacher quickly came over to see what was wrong, and she said, "What's the matter?" "Someone has mixed up two puzzles together," I yelled. "Well, what are you going to do about it?" asked my teacher. "Get angry," I said. "I don't see how that's going to help," she said. "Can you think of anything else you might be able to do?" Okay, so write down how you think I solved the problem.